Hello and welcome to a new episode of my channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we have another Evil Genius 2 video because the Evil Genius 2 craze has just begun. The release is getting closer and closer, and this Friday we are actually checking out Evil Genius 2 live on stream at trovo.live/ChaosMole. If you want to check it out, this is where we will stream 2 hours of Evil Genius 2, that is at 12 p.m. EST. But before we do that, we will watch 6 things we wish we knew before playing. Isn't that a little bit weird as a developer to say that? Because they probably know the game? Whatever. I haven't seen this yet, and because we are getting closer to playing it, there are probably some information I would like to know before I am actually playing the game. So let's jump right into it and see what evil deeds we can uncover. So let's go.
Although a world-coveting megalomaniac is never wrong,
looking good.
Even they might want to do some things a bit differently in hindsight. Here are 6 things we wish we knew before playing Evil Genius 2 for the first time.
Yes. Rocket launcher.
Hello there, budding supervillains. A warmest welcome to you. I would usually go into that bit
Looks
about
so
liking
great.
and subscribing about now, but I've been playing Evil Genius 2. I just had to
Exactly.
get that out. And there's a lot to take in here, you know? If you've been fiddling around with
if you
the
want to
perfect
like
trap
and to
design since
subscribe,
2004, you'll be
go ahead.
reassured to know that all the best bits of the Evil Genius experience have been carried over here, albeit bathed in gorgeous 2021 vision. But even veterans
So
of the
good.
original will have new bits and bobs to learn, let alone anyone embarking on their very first stab at holding the world to ransom with a giant super weapon. So here are a few little nuggets we've picked up so far, learned in the exploratory fumblings of a very first playthrough, to be deployed and refined the next time we start from scratch. I think I've calmed down just about enough now to direct your eyes down to the subscribe button, so I'll do that. And next, here's Ellen with a lesson in feng shui for tyrants.
Let's do this.
At the start of each Evil Genius 2 save, your evil lair starts out as a blank canvas, and you, being the maniacal Michelangelo that you are, will use your brush, in this case a top-of-the-range Lair Builder 5000, and your discerning eye to create a world-dominating masterpiece. However, it can be very easy to paint yourself into a corner with your lair layout. So with that being said, our first tip would be to not skimp on corridors. If you bunch your rooms up near to the entrance,
Good.
not only will it be pretty easy for any agents to get the info they need and slip out unnoticed, but it will leave you with no space as you begin to unlock more rooms and complete the research task that allows your
It's a bit
minions to
weird
break through
because
more
the game
stubborn
is
rock formations.
in the tutorial
So make sure
apparently
have
telling
plenty
you
of corridors
to
allow for new rooms. And you can always add
build
another
the treasure
corridor onto
room
an
right at
existing room if
the
you're really
entry
pushing
level.
space.
That's like, wait, what? Why would I do that?
The world map. Glorious, isn't it? Bursting with different cultures,
Oh, I'm curious about the new world map.
bank vaults. The first time you gaze upon what will one day become entirely your domain, oh powerful one, is in the tutorial phase of the game, and your advisor suggests a few locations that might be prudent to set up your first network. But he
Yes.
also says that you're free to pick anywhere if you know what you're doing.
Or any other region if you know what you are doing.
I mean, I always know what I'm
those
doing.
words really stuck in my head after I blithely clicked the nearest location to wherever my cursor happened to be at the time. Where would I have picked if I knew what I was doing, I wondered. Well, having played a bit further and recruited my first person of hench to the lair, I could have picked the region where they were found to set up my first network. That'd save the cost of another radio repeater and another minion running it, plus the electricity bill. Will you lot please turn the lights off after you leave a room, thank you. There are definite benefits to expanding your network though. Doing lots of little evils spread out across the world will only generate a bit of heat from the globe's various agencies, whereas going
So don't
absolutely
overdo it at the
ham
beginning
in
is what
one
they are
region
saying.
will prompt that region's authorities to really bring out the big guns against you.
Terminating.
You know, I kind of summed this one up in the headline, so there's not that much to be said, really. How are you? Are you doing okay? You look well. Nice weather we've been having, although I think it might rain. Phil, is it your turn yet? No, okay. So our third point is, quite simply, to sell the disused machinery in the casino.
Oh!
On my first playthrough, I let it sit there gathering dust as I scrimped and saved to afford Zalika's
That's
inner
good to
sanctum.
know.
But if you hover over the item descriptions, you'll
Are they
realise that
just
selling them
broken?
is exactly what they want you to do.
Oh.
Selling the broken slot machines, fountain,
Okay.
and tables will net you a tidy sum. Perhaps you could
That's
treat
good to
them
know,
with some
actually.
new lockers, or a few egg chairs in your control room. Perhaps even a coffee machine. I know. What a crazy idea.
Oh, I got that fake laugh from the TV.
Oh, Danny
Perfect.
boy, the pipes. You what? Sorry, Alan. You finished? Cool. Anyway, next up is one I felt a bit silly about, having watched all the trailers for a year and seen evil lairs being built up over time, but my mind's so conditioned to Evil Genius 1 lair building that, well,
This
I
would
forgot
be
there
a
are multiple
tough thing
floors
for
this
me
time.
too, yeah.
This paradigm shift totally resets the traditional lair layout. You could
This
have
is
an
underground.
entire floor devoted to
they
minion
just showed.
downtime, or hide away all those sparkling gold bullion. Honestly, just look at the way they sparkle. I've lost hours to that room just staring at them. Anyway, you could hide it in a harder to reach upper echelon, but mainly keeping in mind that you have several floors waiting for you over
Yeah,
the
this
course
would
of
be
the
really
campaign.
tough to
Just does
react
away
to.
with the nickel and diming I was doing at ground level, thinking this is all the space I'd ever have to
Like,
work
this would be
with.
tough.
And now there is work we must do here, far from prying eyes.
It isn't long after your lair becomes fully operational that agents will start turning up to have a nosy around. They probably just want to come and see how well placed your corridors are, but nevertheless, they need to be dealt with. As tempting as it is to give them what for the minute they step through the doors of your cover operation, outside of the lair, we need to be on our best behaviour. That means no biffing an agent on the nose in front of paying customers, yes, I'm looking at you.
It's what I trained for.
This is where your henchmen come in handy, as many of their abilities will allow you to deal with agents in your cover operation more subtly. There's Eli Barracuda Jr., for example, who's blessed with a silver tongue ability, which subtly damages enemy resolve,
That's really cool.
whilst also regenerating his stats. Then there's Janet Bomb's Scramble Evidence ability, which
Because in the
destroys
first
any
one,
information agents have gathered
you could
on your
just do
wrongdoing,
that.
so that
Like,
they
the
leave
tourists would
none the
panic a
wiser.
bit, and then they would forget about it.
I know two things about interior design. One, don't make rooms massively too big for the sparse furnishings that are in them. And two, okay, there isn't a two. I was hoping number one would be enough to get you on side and think I know about interior design. Which I do, actually, now, having already built one decidedly ugly lair in which furniture is arranged not quite symmetrically, science labs featuring a grand total of one whiteboard sprawl on past the horizon, and corridor layouts even a Zone 5 tube station would turn its nose up at. Because the first
That totally
time you
never
lay out
happened
a
to me,
square
by the
of
way.
tiles and decide this will be a barracks. You don't know yet how many lockers you want to put in there, or how they can be arranged for maximum spatial efficiency, where the beds will go, how many tiles they need around them for access, and so on. You're just taking a punt, really. It's only after getting further into the game that you realise that, no, 12 tiles probably isn't enough for the room containing all the power generators that keep your entire base online. Whereas your science
Yeah.
lab doesn't need 2 full football pitches in order to be operational in the early game. But most importantly, most crucially of all, you can construct rooms so that the objects fit perfectly symmetrically in them. I can't tell you how much better I feel just looking at that.
So there you have it. The
Awesome.
many mistakes Phil and I made, all in the name of research. I hope you learned from this, otherwise I just sat there for hours with unsold broken casino machines for nothing. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, as there
You
will be
should.
plenty more Evil Genius 2 content coming your way soon. If anyone needs me, I'll be adding more unnecessary plants to my evil lair.
I like plants. So, with that said, let's have a look at the things. So think about the layout of your layer. I think is a very important thing, because now that you have a huge layer and you don't switch islands anymore like in the first one, where you basically reset your layer layout. That doesn't happen here anymore. So you actually have to think ahead. But the positive aspect is that this time you can actually rebuild walls again. Like in Evil Genius 1, you were stuck with the layout you built at the beginning, and especially if you were a new player, this was not good. Because in the end, you didn't know what you do. You made a lot of like layout mistakes, which is to be expected as a new player. And then you realized you couldn't change that. The layout was final, and the only way to change that was basically to restart, which was really, really infuriating. Which brings me also to the sixth point, which is making the rooms the appropriate size, right? Where in the first one, as I already said, you couldn't change the size of a room. You could only make them bigger, but when you already had, like, let's say another room next to it, which would basically cancel out the extension of the room you want to extend, there wasn't really anything you could do about it. Like, you could restart or you could reload, but that was it. And that you can now just change that mid in the game is fantastic. So even if your room is too big and you realize that, well, as I already said, you have like a huge football field and then you just put a whiteboard in there, it's not really efficient. So you can now thankfully just change that. So this is less frustrating and you can make mistakes, which is good. So the next thing they talked about is your first criminal network. You can just choose where you want to go. Like, you don't have to follow the tutorial if you want to get like certain henchmen immediately. They haven't really told us where the henchmen are, so maybe that's a video I could do. Like where to find like all the henchmen right from the get-go, so you don't have to follow the tutorial. But I'm really curious on how the new world map will work exactly, and we will definitely take a deep dive in an extra YouTube video when I'm allowed to play the game starting on Friday. Yeah. Selling casino machines. Okay, this was a really easy one, but believe it or not, I would have probably just left them there because I would have believed that, well, maybe you can utilize them again. But it seems like it's not possible. They're just giving you money. And it also seems like they're giving you a good chunk of money. 1,250, and you have 40,000 at the beginning. Yeah, that seems like a good chunk of money they're actually giving you. So this is a good tip. There's nothing really I can add. Like, that's fantastic. Thinking vertically. Oh, this one. This will be tough. It's the same thing with the layout, right? Like, when you have played Evil Genius for the first Evil Genius for a very long time, there was no vertically building. Like, it was one level and you had to deal with it. And now you can go up, you can go down. This is, by the way, this is kind of interesting what they're showing here. Let me pause here. So this, I've seen this before. This seems to be underground, right? This is level B. And you can see here that there are golden resources right here. So you can actually get gold from your island. But as far as I know, not every island will have this. Like, I think it's only a specific island who starts out with gold underneath the layer. So it will be very interesting to see how important this actually is. Like, how much gold do you get? And is it something you want? Because I think there's a trade-off. I think the trade-off is that you only have 4 levels plus the underground level, so 5 levels in total. And there's like another island where you have like 7 levels instead. So you lose a little bit of like multiple levels for just having gold underneath your base. And I'm very curious to see how much that makes a difference. Like, what is better in the end, the gold or the extra room? So I'm curious to see that. But yeah, building vertically, we have already talked about this in our first episode. 2 things I'm looking forward to in Evil Genius 2. And this one was the one with stairs, right? Where I talked about the possibility that you now have to think, okay, where are the forces of justice coming in? where do you want to build your very important buildings, and how do you want to make them accessible for your minions, but how accessible are they then for the forces of justice, right? So there's a very, very interesting construct. And the last point, don't punch people in the casino. That's a good point. As I said in the first one, you could just do that. Like, you could murder agents and even civilians right in the hotel/casino. And sure, people would panic and they would be like, oh my God, what are you doing? And then after 2 to 3 minutes, they would come back and just resume what they did. Like, they have basically forgotten everything. And it seems like this time you cannot really do that. And your reputation will get hurt or something like that. So yeah, this is cool. Like, you really have to think now what you want to do in your casino and how much worth that is to upset the visitors of that casino, right? So yeah, that offers also a lot of like in-depth strategy you have to think about. And having agents which are better in, like, with their silver tongue, right, is probably a good starting strategy. Not to go in with Red Ivan and shoot your rocket launcher all the time. But those were the 6 things we should have known before we actually started playing the game. And I think it was helpful. I think it was helpful. I definitely feel a little bit more prepared. And this is especially helpful, of course, for the people who have never played an Evil Genius game. Like, I know a lot of the fans who are looking forward to Evil Genius 2 are the people who also played the first one quite a bit. But you always have to remember, this game is now nearly 17 years old. And a lot of people have never played this because they have missed out on it. Or, believe it or not, some people have not been born at that time. So this is really helpful, especially for the new players. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more Evil Genius video, and of course, you want to see the live stream on Friday, you should leave a subscription and ring the bell icon to get informed. I would appreciate that. But yeah, we will be definitely back on Friday with the Evil Genius 2 stream at 12 p.m. East Coast time, which is 5 p.m. Central European time and 4 p.m. UK time at trovo.live/ChaosMole. And no, as I said before, I will not upload the VOD to YouTube because I can't. I'm not allowed to do that. So you have to watch the VOD on the side. Of course, there's also something I promised. There will be tons of extra Evil Genius videos coming to YouTube because I'm allowed to do up to 1 hour of gameplay showcase on YouTube. So I will do some extra videos where we talk about specifics. But the first look and the first playthrough, so to speak, starts on my live stream, and I'm not allowed to upload that. So yeah, you have to check out the stream yourself or wait for the specific YouTube videos. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Till then, stay evil. Bye bye.